Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kissy. So I wasn't thinking that I was going to do a video today, but then it dawned on me and it came through. I think perhaps shifting energies going into Capricorn, which is coming up shortly in the next couple of days. The energy is what's showing up. So I saw this woman online. She's a 75-year-old self-made billionaire. She was being interviewed on a podcast. And something she said that struck me a little bit, or that made me consider my own life. It was basically a realization that I had with myself. At the beginning of her business, she says she invested so much in trying to be the role, like dressing the part, looking the part, all this stuff, right? Like, these are the things you're taught in school, in work scenarios, in success seminars, whatever you want to call it. To do things that you would do to present yourself as an entrepreneur, as someone who's business savvy or business oriented. So she realized quickly how much time and energy she was putting into getting her hair done, and eventually she just got tired of it. And she says it wasn't until she started to just be herself, and just not necessarily to present herself in a messy way, but she didn't have to glam up. And as women, we're taught to feel a pressure to glam up in order to compete in the world, in the arena of business or something. And yes, it does have a place, and I'll tell you why. It's not so much, but you have to overcome the reason why you do it before you can do it. And what I mean by that is, you start off doing it until you realize you're not being yourself, or you don't feel yourself, or you're not as comfortable. And if like you can go out as you really want to and do things on your terms, then you'd be that realtor agent that knows your job inside and out, that when you go introduce yourself to a client, a potential buyer, you're not there to impress them with how you're dressed and what bag you have and what shoes you have in your car and all this stuff. You're there to show them the property that they want. You're there to show them what they're looking for. And when you do that, and you mean business, you get things done. Now, the reason why sometimes it can have an adverse effect, depending on the client you're dealing with. If the client you deal with gets only views success by the flashiness that they see, they're not even gonna give you the time of day. Even if you are the best at what you do, even if what you do can get them the better results, even if you can get it done quicker, all of that is out the door when a person is so superficial that all they see is, oh, you're dressed unprofessional or casual, let's just say, and you don't seem to kiss my ass. You're not trying to buy me, so therefore, I don't know who you think you are, but I'm not going to do business with you. Let me go with that person that I saw in the commercial, or that person that they told me about that has 10 mansions and 50,000 cars, and they wear Fendi bags and Louis Vuitton shoes all day. Whatever, because they're obviously more successful. And that's where the consumer makes the mistake of assumption, and then gets taken in by that type of flashy individual who basically rips them off with all these excesses and throwing extras and extras and extras, incentives, supposedly, but really is just getting some kind of incentives for themselves. So, what was the point? Success, the ultimate success is not what you have so much as how you feel with where you are. To me, to you it could be different, but this is just what I've come to understand, what I've come to realize in terms of operating on my own, like creating my own, I don't even want to say brand, or creating the lifestyle for what I do to produce for me what I need to live the life that I believe is no, not that I believe, the lifestyle that I choose, that I want. My free will says I can live this way if I'm willing to do what it takes to live this way. In other words, no free meal tickets in terms of like the easy way outs. You know, this is this is what life has taught, is that when you're truly determined, it's not how hard you go necessarily that proves that you're gonna succeed. It's not the fact of going really hard in life and hustling and bustling and selling the most and doing the most and giving the most and promoting the most, whatever the business may be. It's not about doing all of that, because I learned that doing all of that was a lot of camouflage for not knowing what you have to offer. Okay? So when you know what you are, what you have, what your brand, if you want to call it that, is, when you know what you're offering, there is no need for any fluff. It's like, it is what it is. This is what I have, and this is the value. In other words, how do you determine the value? This is how it will affect you, or this is how it will create change for you. Based on the change that is projected, based on how deeply understood the method or the concept or the realization is how successful the outcome will be. So I think the success is defined by what you define for yourself as, okay, from where I am to where I choose to be, from where I am to where I choose to be, I'm going to create where I am to be. My own success. Meaning, like, in my case, it was never about, oh, I want to make all this money. I never looked that way. I want to make this much money. I did calculate how much money would I need just to have so I don't struggle. So I'm not challenged every day, distracted from doing this thing that I love to do. How much would I need just to live, to create the peace that I need to be able to just do this freely? And that was my intention. So that created a whole set of things for me to do. Limit certain behaviors, limit certain interactions, limit certain waste of time, because the things that I needed to do were simple. It was one step at a time. It was like, okay, you want to improve where you live, you start figuring out where you want to go live. Then you figure out how you're going to get there. So most people get so overwhelmed by how far their dreams are, to where they are, to where they want to be, that they lose sight of the reason they dream that dream in the first place. The reason the dream that they dream is there in the first place is because they feel that that reality is going to give them what they lack here and now. And what they lack here and now is peace. Because if they were at peace, their dream would be here now. It wouldn't be far away. So when you're at peace, and people misunderstand peace, they think of that as boring, or they think of that like still and nothing is going on. No, peace of freaking mind. Your mind is free to do what it wants, to think about what it wants to think about, to focus on what it wants to focus on. Your heart is free to love what you want to love, when you want to love, how you want to love, who you want to love. Your heart is free. No one is limiting your experience of sharing your love, or having love be received in your experience. Do you see? And then also there's a freedom in your ability to go or to get or to do the things you want, because you're able to. There are no limits. You've created a way. In other words, oh, I want to go mountain climbing, but you've never done it. So you train for it, or you go practice, right? So you start doing the things until they become your reality. You do the things. You can't just dream, oh, I want to marry this rich person and live in this beautiful place, but you never once. It's so fantastical that when the idea of take the first step to do it comes, you're the first one to dismiss it. I'm not doing that. Are you crazy? So then what's the point of that dream? That we call that paja mental. That's like I'm not even going to translate it, but it's like it's like a bursted bubble for nothing. Like what? Why? So, was there anything else in regards to that I needed to add? I don't think so. And I didn't think I was going to do a reading, but I think I will. Okay. So, there is something like, I guess you could say attention in regards to, I feel like maybe a pattern of dissatisfaction is over. I think, I don't know, like the certain patterns that have been long, like aspects of your being have just suddenly been removed. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like this routine thought and feeling and action that has been in a certain direction suddenly is not as interesting. Suddenly it's just and you find something new. It's like when a hobby is no longer fun, or when a thing is no longer fun, and I feel like it doesn't mean, or a group that you engage with just doesn't do it for you anymore. There's something about like the change, like the freshness of wanting to experience a new reality away from everything that's been already. Like, I don't want to, none of that interests me anymore. None of the things that interested me are interesting. None of and okay, whatever you want, whatever you loved, you love. Whatever you no longer interested, you let it go. But there's something about the old story. It really just feels like you cannot, even when you don't want to, you eventually end up moving on to something new. Whether it's, if you watch the same old show every day, eventually you're going to change the channel and watch something different. You might still watch the old show, but you're going to want to watch something different. If you do the same routine workout every freaking day, eventually you're going to get tired and you're going to find something different to do. You might still stay consistent with certain routines, but you want to change it up. So that's the feeling I'm feeling, like a need to change things up. Oh, we have Gemini, cross-pollination. So this energy, this need for change feels, maybe it's just in the mind, maybe you're just bored, maybe you need something to entertain you, or you're looking for something to stimulate you mentally. Maybe you're looking for some kind of like intriguing conversation or someone to challenge you a little bit in terms of how you behave, like I think that, like, okay, so working out for yourself is one thing, but then having someone train you, it sets up a little challenge, because it's like, okay, I'm up for the challenge. You say I should be able to do this, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. But it benefits you because you're testing your skills. So you could be testing out your skills, whether it's your mental skills, whether it's your communication skills, whether it's just how you engage or how you think in some ways. The solar flares are activating, so you might be having some kind of like ascension, awakening, activation happening, chakra activations at this time due to a rebirth. For some of you, you may have just completely transformed something, or the way that you thought about something, or just whatever consumed your mind no longer consumes your mind. There's a shift in your mental arena. Virgo, digest. You could be dealing with a Virgo or a Gemini. Interesting, both are ruled by Mercury. And Mercury is all about change, communication, looking at things from different perspectives. And Virgo is asking us to digest some information that we've received recently in order to find a little more balance. So there is some sort of clarity, there is some sort of information, because this cross-pollinate is more like maybe there was an energy that you interacted with, very different, but it's a positive connection. It was, or a positive seed was planted, which activated a rebirth. And this rebirth is now you're digesting the information from this rebirth. So you are going through this transit, through this climate change, so to speak. There is a change in your energy. This energy could have to do simply with, like how they say, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at start to change. You've had an awareness of, or you just see things clearer. The pieces just fall together easier, or you're looking at maybe the things, like it's easier to see how the things that you thought or affirmed to yourself have become more tangibly visible. It's understandable in the physical, what it is that you see. So you're taking actions because you know which ideas to act on because of the vision that you received. So there is nothing, I think this activation of this rebirth and now being able to take action in fully embodying who you are is, it's like you have direction, you have a vision. You know exactly where you're going, you know exactly what you're going to do. Source, the sun. Yeah, I feel like this rebirth, it's like it's inspired this like new life in you. It's like you're born anew. Still you, but it's like a charged up version of you. Very, very bright, your energy. You are going to be doing a lot of exploration, whether that is just having adventures, traveling. It's like spirit is guiding you to meet new people, feel new, how do I put it? How do I put it, Lord? Hello. Okay. Feel the different environments that you walk into, whether that's work environments or actual spaces like territories, like states that you go to, that you visit. Like really feel, digest the energy of the spaces that you're in. Like tune into and explore the soils of the lands you explore. I think it's like you're going to digest the nourishment of those areas. Yeah, you're going to do some sort of introspection, 12th house introspection through this transit. Let me see. So you've received this energy, you've cross-pollinated, so to speak, and you've activated your solar flares, causing a rebirth for you to now integrate throughout this climate change, this transit. It feels kind of like a waiting period almost. Not necessarily waiting. I don't want to put it that way because I hate the wait. I don't like waiting. So transits, climate. You see, it's almost like and it is a 55, which is change, but it feels almost like that's that space right before you take action. It's giving me a feeling like being backstage right before the curtains open. Oh my. But you're ready to act on this vision. It's going to give you a lot of energy, or you were given this energy to take this action on this vision, to go out and explore, to really introspect on the things that you see. So what numbers? We have the number 3, 17, 27, 6, 55, 1, 26, 18, 47, and 50. Those could be significant to you in some ways. I just want to call them out just in case. So let's see if there's any other information we can get from this. You know what I haven't pulled on recently or lately is an animal totem. Let's do the animal totem then. We're going to do one for the masculine and one for the feminine, okay? So the masculine's animal totem. Oh, okay. Spirit's like, here you go. So, masculine and feminine, okay? So masculine, you have the rabbit. It says, I pause and reflect on the patterns revealed to me. Different perspectives give me insight and understanding. It is easy for me to give birth to ideas. My creative endeavors come to fruition. I find balance with the cycles of life. Very pertinent, right? Indeed. Let's see what the feminine energy is. Ooh, the eagle. Sorry, did I not show you the rabbit? There you go. That's for the masculine, the rabbit. And then the feminine has the eagle. So it says, I am awakening every day in many ways. I enjoy seeking connection with my higher self and observing myself from a higher perspective. I have great clarity. I am a catalyst to awaken awareness of all beings. I see clearly now and become aware of profound spiritual truths. Beautiful. And I think that that's what this introspection is about, seeing the spiritual truths with this exploration. Now, the exploration doesn't always have to be physical, like in the, 3D, going out and about and meeting people. You could also be asked to meditate and do some astral travel. Connect maybe in a dream state if you practice if you do any of those practices to get yourself in a state where you're able to do the spiritual exploration, okay? So I think I'll leave it there. Short and sweet. I think this is just a quick message for the upcoming, maybe what to expect when the sun goes into Capricorn. But I will do a reading for all signs either way. This is just kind of like a quick intro to where I believe the energies are headed. Okay, so have a good day. Talk to you soon.